People always said the McDonald's I worked at was cursed. A long time ago, it used to be something else, some kind of office building. But after a series of strange deaths, it shut down. Nobody remembered the full story, but everyone felt it. The silence, the shadows. When it reopened as a restaurant, things seemed normal until that one freezing Tuesday night when the door opened by itself and someone stepped inside who was never supposed to come back.
This was 2024. I wasn't in some horror movie. I was just a tired girl working night shifts at McDonald's, trying to make enough money to survive. Still, something about that night, it didn't feel normal. Something shifted in the air. Something dark finally decided to move. It was a Tuesday, freezing cold and unusually quiet. I was alone in the restaurant, waiting for my boyfriend, Ryan. I'd asked him to stop by. We didn't have much money, so most nights we met like this, calling it a dinner date, even if it was just fries and a Coke. Sometimes we'd sit together in the corner booth and talk until close. But tonight, he was late. I stood behind the counter, half scrolling through my phone, half watching the front entrance. Outside, fog had started to roll in, thick and low, wrapping the parking lot like a blanket. The street lamps flickered every now and then. The silence felt strange, too quiet. Then, finally, I saw something, a shadow, just outside the door. It moved slowly, like someone walking up to the entrance. My heart jumped. Finally, I thought, Ryan's here, and I don't know why. Maybe it was just boredom. But I decided I'd scare him, just a little. I crouched down behind the counter, hidden from view, waiting for him to step inside so I could pop up and yell. The door creaked open. The bell above it gave a soft ding. I held my breath, but nothing happened. No footsteps, no voice, no sound at all. I stayed there, crouched, confused. Maybe he's being quiet to mess with me, I thought. I counted in my head, 5 seconds, 10, 15, still nothing. Ryan, I whispered. There was silence. I slowly stood up and peeked over the counter. No one was there. The door was gently swinging shut again, like it had just been opened and closed, but the restaurant was completely empty. I felt this cold wave of confusion. I walked out from behind the counter, checking every table. Nothing, even the bathroom, empty. Ryan, come on, this isn't funny, I called out. Still no reply. The machines behind me hummed softly. The air felt heavier somehow. The silence pressed on my skin. And then bang! A loud crash from outside made me jump out of my skin. I ran toward the door, heart thudding. What if Ryan fell? What if he's hurt? I stepped into the cold. The parking lot was empty. No cars, no people, just the sharp smell of cold air. I looked to the side. The metal trash bin was dented inward, the lid completely bent like something had hit it hard, really hard. But there was nothing nearby that could have caused it. No wind, no dropped object, no one even around. And then I heard my name. Stacy! I spun around. Ryan was running toward me from the side of the building. His face was pale, and he looked shaken, completely out of breath. He grabbed my arm tight. I saw someone, he gasped. They jumped from the roof, right here. He pointed to the top of the building. I looked up, trying to see through the fog and dark, but there was nothing there, just the edge of the old roof and the sky above it. There's no one there, I said, trying to calm him down. I swear, he said again. I saw it, a person. They jumped. I heard them hit something. I glanced again at the trash bin. The dent, the sound I'd heard. My brain tried to fit it together, but there was no body, no blood, nothing. I didn't want to scare him more, so I said, maybe it was just a bird or something else. Come inside. We turned back, and that's when we both saw it. In the front window of the restaurant, a shadow moved across the glass, like someone had just walked by, right behind us. We both stopped and stared. The parking lot was still empty. Nothing. No one. I grabbed the door and shut it quickly, locked it. It's okay, I told myself. It's just nerves. You're tired. But Ryan was still looking around, eyes narrowed. Is Ron still here? I asked. No, he left over an hour ago. Then who's in the kitchen? He asked. I turned slowly. The kitchen door was swinging ever so slightly, like someone had just passed through it. I forced a nervous smile. It's probably one of the teens. They sneak in sometimes and grab food. But it didn't feel the same. Something about the air. It felt colder, thicker. We walked toward the kitchen, empty. But just as I turned to Ryan, the fryers suddenly turned on by themselves.
The buzz of electricity, the sharp sizzle of oil heating up. My stomach twisted. Boiling bubbles rose fast, too fast, spilling over slightly. The air filled with smoke. And then bang! Pots and pans flew from the shelves, clattering and clanging against the floor like someone had yanked them down with full force. My ears rang. "Stacy, we need to leave!" Ryan yelled. Already backing out, I tried to shut the fryer off, but the buttons didn't work. Nothing did. The lights above us flickered, and the room flashed between bright and dark. And then, in that flicker, I saw it. Something was standing in the doorway. Tall, dark, still. It didn't move. It didn't speak. Just stared. I couldn't breathe.
Then, the lights came fully back on, and it was gone. Ryan yanked me by the arm. "We are not staying here." We ran. I dropped my keys, picked them up, then dropped them again. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Finally, we got into the car and sped away. I didn't say a word. Neither did he. We just drove. But as we turned the corner, I looked back through the rearview mirror, and there it was, in the window of the McDonald's. 2 glowing eyes watching us, unblinking.